Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We're glad to have you this evening. We're just a couple minutes ahead of what we'd hoped for, but that's good. We're great. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. A great night. It's one of those nights that we're so happy for Charles and Chief Briscoe, but we're also very sad that we're losing two such fine people to our great city and what they have meant to our city. We're so proud of them, so proud of what they have done, what they have meant, the time that they have given to their jobs and built their departments the way they have. So good thing is that they have left it so good that the guys coming in next can just pick up right where they go from and keep going. So we're so excited about that, but we are so excited to welcome them tonight, to talk to them, to thank them for what they have meant to our city. You know, for me, it's not only do I had the opportunity to work with them for so long, but they're great friends. And that's one thing I am going to miss the most is that wonderful friendship that we have gotten. Charles, I'm going to start with you. And, Charles Beck and I go way back. I met Charles at Appalachian State University. We were in school together there and had no idea when we were freshmen, sophomore, and juniors back in I don't even want to tell it, but the 70s, that we would one day be together again in the City of Lenoir working together. So we go way, way back. And I met Charles at Appalachian. We graduated the same year, didn't we? 74. So
Charles says he's much younger than you.
Well, I know he is. I know. Much younger looking anyway. I know that. But it's been a pleasure to call Charles not only my colleague, but to call him a friend. And you never ever call Charles Beck and ask him to check or do something that he didn't get the job done. His department has just been amazing. They truly typify what service beyond measure is all about. And I always say this, without the Public Works Department, the glue would not be for this city. They hold all of us together. They make sure the things happen, and for that we are truly thankful. But I'm going to start out. I want to read this proclamation for Charles. And Charles, if you want to come and join, if you want to sit there mid, you can, or if you want to come up and join me, you can. I'm glad to. This may take a few minutes, but this resolution is honoring Charles Keith Beck. Whereas Charles Beck began his career with the City of Lenoir on September the 18th of 2003 as Director of Public Works. And whereas Charles Beck has announced his retirement effective March 1st, 2018, ending 15 years of exemplary service to the citizens of Lenoir and Caldwell County. And whereas Charles is an active member of the Caldwell Rotary Club, which greatly supports and participates in ongoing service projects for the community. He served as president of the organization from 2008 to 2009. Charles also graduated from the Public Executive Leadership Academy called PELA, sponsored by the UNC School of Government on August the 8th of 2014, and has served as a member of the American Public Works Association, North Carolina chapter since December of 2003. Whereas Charles implemented the Public Works Employee of the Year Award program along with the annual Public Works Breakfast as ways to recognize and honor fellow employees. And he was best described by a former manager as having a passion for service and a servant leader's mentality. And whereas during his tenure, Charles assumed a vital role in managing many successful projects accomplished under his exceptional leadership and guidance. Among these are downtown streetscape project, resulting in Lenoir being the first small city Duke Energy ever permitted to put lines underground with their own staff. Veterans Plaza and Downtown Plaza projects, Smith Crossroads beautification and expansion project, Blackwilder Park and the Thomas Sayers Sculpture Project, city street paving plan, plus the maintenance and construction of the city's numerous bridges, Lenoir Greenway and Rails to Trails projects, stormwater wetland restoration project, the Lenoir Electric Vehicle Charging Station, the first operational station in Duke Energy's EV charging infrastructure support project, the North Main Street Beautification Project, and the Hospital Avenue Sidewalk Project, just to name a few. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, as the mayor of the City of Lenoir, by the authority vested in me, and as mayor of the City of Lenoir, and on behalf of the City Council and all the citizens, do hereby wish the very best for Charles in his retirement and commend him for an outstanding example he has set as a dedicated public servant. Be it further resolved, the City Council and the citizens of Lenoir are most grateful for the many notable contributions Charles has made to the City of Lenoir, from which we will continue to benefit. This is the 6th day of March, 2018. Charles, thank you. Stay here. I also would like to present the highest honor that I can give you is give you the key to your city, a city that you helped build and helped make a great place. And I am proud that I've had the opportunity to serve with Charles Beck for 15 years in this capacity. This says presented to Charles K. Beck, Director of Public Works, in recognition of his dedicated and outstanding service to the City of Lenoir and its citizens, September 2003, March 2018, signed by the Lenoir City Council, Joseph L. Gibbons, Mayor. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I'll hold this one. All right.
Members coming up 'cause he's got more
Yeah, we've
stuff,
got
so
several
he's trying
things,
to
so
join you.
I'll let you sit down for a minute, and we're going to continue. I'd like to introduce right now Mr. Clay McCrary. Clay is our district representative here for Congressman Mark Meadows in Caldwell County. Clay is a great friend, native of Caldwell County. We're glad to have you this evening. He has a special presentation for Charles.
Well, it is my distinct honor and privilege to be here tonight on behalf of Congressman Mark Meadows, and it's even more so my honor to be able to recognize two outstanding men that have meant so much to the City of Lenoir, and I would even say, obviously, Caldwell County as well. And on behalf of Congressman Meadows, I'd like to present this flag that was flown over the United States Capitol building to Mr. Charles Beck, and it does come with the certificate, and I'm going to read it here. The certificate reads, at the request of the Honorable Mark Meadows, Member of Congress, this flag was flown in honor of Mr. Charles Beck for his 15 years of service to the City of Lenoir as Director of Public Works. Charles, if you would come up here and join me.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you for that great presentation. And I know that's a flag that the Beck family will cherish forever. And I would like to introduce our North Carolina representative, the Honorable Destin Hall. And he's going to come up and make a presentation also to Charles. Destin,
Okay.
glad
Thanks,
to have
sir.
you with us. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here today with you two gentlemen who have given so much to our community, and we certainly appreciate your service. The mayor went over all the accolades and all the service that you guys have given to us, so I won't reiterate all of that, but I agree with all of it. What I'm going to give you today, I've got a state flag that was flown over the state capitol in each of your honor, and a certificate to that effect, saying that it was flown over the state capitol on February 2nd. I've got them right here. If you guys want to come up, I'll present them each to you. And Chief Briscoe, if you want to come on up as well, I'll go ahead and give them both to you guys.
That would be great. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you for being with us. Great presentation. Again, you're going to have to find a place to fly all these flags. I know that's going to be let's put some flag poles out at the Beck and the Briscoe houses to fly them. Next, I'd like to introduce Andy Lovingood, from McGill and Associates, who's here to make a presentation to Mr. Beck. Mr. Beck didn't have much of a chance to work with these guys over his 15 years, but just about every day, wasn't it?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess I'd like to first say what a privilege it is to work for the city and what great leadership we're blessed with here in Lenoir, from the city council manager, and you've really equipped your staff and your department heads to do great things, and I think that's evident today. I applaud you for that, and I also applaud you. You've got a great young man coming to work with you. I'm very near and dear to, so I really applaud you for hiring Jared Wright. I think he's a wonderful person and will do really good for the city. So I hate that you stole him away from me, but I think he'll do great.
You got him first.
He's a great one. So Charles, if you would come on up. We're part of the back of house gang. We help Charles in a lot of ways, but when the phone rings and it's Charles Beck, you don't know if it's going to be a sidewalk or half of downtown's in a sinkhole or some storm drainage somewhere or somebody's flooded. You just never know. So we have greatly appreciated the opportunity and the honor to work with Charles. What you have to realize is that Charles, a lot of the things that he accomplished, he did that through creative ways. He did that through the city forces often. He did that through ways that saved the town money, that really were unique. And also, I get to see Charles in another light through APWA and some of the other organizations that he's involved with, and he's also been a big blessing to those organizations statewide. So I appreciate your service, not only here locally, but given your expertise and your abilities elsewhere. As the mayor mentioned, his work has led to North Carolina Main Street Award for the Downtown Streetscape, North Carolina Main Street Award for the Veterans Memorial, a North Carolina Association of Society of Landscape Architect Award for the Downtown Streetscape, the Veterans Memorial, the Smith Crossroads improvements, Harper Avenue, the Greenways. And we've had a pleasure to work with him on so many different projects, Charles, from housing projects to the Blackwater Hospital, to the parking lot I parked in over there. Just amazing places for public art. This is a kind of a graphic of some of the things that he's been associated with. Even the cover of a magazine, all the way through the different planning documents, and you can see Charles out with us working on which he's out in the field helping us decide where it should go and what we should do. This is just a small token that we did that has some of the pictures in it, but it has a horseshoe that was found in one of the construction projects that we've been keeping for years, and it was the one that was downtown. This was about where the horseshoe was found about where the stage is downtown and the construction. And we kept that for you. And this kind of shows the history of Lenoir and where we came from and where we are. And a lot of it's attributed to you. So we hope you would enjoy this and look back at the memories with fondness as we do. Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy. It's always good to have a horseshoe around, I tell you that. For a few minutes, I will open it if there's anyone else who would like to speak about Charles. We're going to do Chief Briscoe's in just a minute and start that, but if there's anyone else that has any comments or anything to say, you can do it at this time. If not, I'm going to bring Charles back up here and ask him for a few comments. I'd like for you to introduce your family that is with us and anything that you would like to add. Thank you again, sir.
Appreciate it.
Well, I count it a privilege to have worked for the city. We have a great team here, even before we started Team Lenoir, we had a great team. And one person doesn't do all this. Department heads alone don't do all this. It's the 240 employees that we have. And since I came to work here, we've torn down so many silos. We can go to any department and get anything done, and anybody can come to Public Works and get anything done. And I think that's what's made this city different. We went through the recession of 2007, 2008, and really came through that a lot better than a lot of cities have because we were willing to work. And I think that we can never look back. We just need to look forward, because I truly believe that the best days for Lenoir are ahead. There's just terrific opportunities here. And of the two of us that are leaving this evening, there are two younger guys coming in right behind us that'll do even a greater job than you think we did. So I'm so thrilled that Jared is moving into Public Works, and Chief Hare's moving into Fire, and whoever moves into the Police Department in August, they're going to do a great job. I do want to recognize my family. If my immediate family will stand up. I think some of them are outside with unruly children. I can't understand that. Our daughter Tracy, I think, is outside there.
She is.
And she's got Carly with her, and her husband, Tracy. Tracy and Tracy, that's interesting at Christmas. And their son, Cam, is right here, Cameron. And then our middle son, Chris, and his wife, Sally, back there holding Wales, our granddaughter. Lewis, Layton, and Bowden are there. And then our youngest son, Brock, and his wife was not able to be with us tonight. Somebody had to work. So I appreciate my family, and I really appreciate my wife, Becky, who has really allowed me to do these things, because without her keeping the home and keeping the kids and keeping the grandkids and doing all those things, I wouldn't have been able to do all the things that I've done. So I appreciate you very much. I love you.
Thank you, sir. I always pride myself in telling everybody I'm the biggest Appalachian fan in the world, but I think Charles probably, he rivals me pretty close, and you can tell tonight the family is all dressed in beautiful black and gold. We love it. We love it. We love it. And Charles and I tailgate and do things together in Boone, so it's been fun. We're going to keep doing that. That's not changing. So anyway, Mr. Hildebrand, we got.
Wait to the last. Don't go yet, though.
Okay.
We'll let you get to next, and I'll get it.
You want to do Chief Briscoe's? Okay. Okay. We got a couple other things that we're going to do, plus the paintings and all that. We're going to present them together in just a little bit. So at this time, I'm going to honor the best politician I know anywhere in the world. I have learned from him. Our fire chief, Ken Briscoe. I tell you what, he's been an amazing guy. He has built a tremendous fire department here. I think we're the best in the state by far. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings that's in the room, but we're just very blessed, and we thank you for your leadership and what you have done to build this great department we have. It's growing. Station number 3. It will be sometime this year. We'll be coming online in the Lower Creek, and that was a rainstorm of Chief Briscoe's and of course Chief Hare too, and all the guys. And I know they're excited and ready for that to happen. He loves trucks. We know that, and we bought a few during this time, but we're very proud of those too, and proud of what this department stands for every day. They truly also stand for service beyond measure every day. You can call them at any time. They'll get birds out of your house. They'll get bats out of your chimney. A few snakes here and there. They just about will do whatever you need them to do. And my wife can attest to that, surely. Anyway, we are just so thankful for what you have meant to the city. I have to tell one funny story real quick before I read all these things. Being the politician that he is, our congressman at that time was McHenry. Patrick McHenry was our congressman before Congressman Meadows became our District 11. It was District 10. And he was here, and Chief Briscoe was so proud. He was showing him around and doing all this saying. He went up to somebody and said, "I'd like for you to meet our little congressman." Patrick McHenry, he's about this tall. We all just broke down. I mean, we couldn't help it. We just died laughing. And his face and head turned red as a beet. But we died laughing. But anyway, Congressman was a great sport, and he just laughed with us, and it was so good. But I'll never forget that as long as I live. Seeing his face, and we all looked at each other and just couldn't wait. We were just spit laughter out. It was just so funny. But Chief, I'm going to talk about a few accomplishments that you have here that are not in your resolution, and then we'll present that. Ken Briscoe, Fire Chief, has overseen the significant growth of Lenoir Fire Department through the expansion of services, including the new Fire Station number 3 coming this year, the recent successful Class 3 ISO rating, and the acquisition of an impressive number of new apparatus. Was selected as Fireman of the Year by the North Carolina State Firemen's Association in 2007, and was also recognized in 2007 by the Senate of the North Carolina General Assembly for his outstanding service to North Carolina and the City of Lenoir. Has been recognized by the Congress of the United States 3 times for his invaluable service to the fire service, City of Lenoir, and the state of North Carolina in October of 2007, August of 2009, and in May of 2013. Was awarded the National Chief Fire Officer CFO designation in 2011, approved for the grade of member with the Institution of Fire Engineers in 2011, completed 11 different certifications recognized through the International Fire Service Accreditation Congress, including Fire Officer 3 and Instructor Level 3, was the first member of the North Carolina Association of Fire Chiefs to serve as president and past president for 2 terms, was named the Western North Carolina Fire Officer of the Year in 2014. This is like going on forever. Has served as vice chairman of the North Carolina Fire and Rescue Commission, was a past board member of the Board of Governors for the International Fire Service Accreditation Congress, has served as an adjutant instructor for the National Fire Academy, as well as instructing or directing the North Carolina State Fire College, North Carolina Breathing Equipment School, North Carolina Rescue College, North Carolina High Angle School, North Carolina Command and Control School, and the North Carolina Fire and Rescue Instructors Conference, just to name a few. Chief, you have just unbelievable the things that you have accomplished over your career. We will miss you, of course, but we are looking forward to sharing with you as you do some more things. Come on up. I'm going to do this resolution, and this, of course, is from the Fire Department resolution. Resolution, City of Lenoir honoring Kenneth Mel Briscoe. We ought to start calling you Mel. I like that.
That was my dad. They called him Dad.
Whereas Kenneth Mel Briscoe, Ken, began his career as a firefighter with the Lenoir Fire Department on January 1st, 1975, was promoted to captain over training on February 1st, 1983, before resigning from the city to accept a position with the North Carolina Department of Insurance on September 14th, 1984, and returning to Lenoir to be promoted to fire chief on June 1st, 2004. And whereas Ken Briscoe has announced his retirement effective March 1st, 2018, ending 23 and a half years of exemplary service to the citizens of Lenoir and Caldwell County. And whereas during his tenure of dedicated service, Ken Briscoe has served the great with great competence and always contributed positively to the professional development of those around him. And whereas during all of his endeavors, both in and outside the fire department, Ken Briscoe has brought honor and respect to himself and the City of Lenoir by his actions and his fair treatment of all persons. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, as mayor and on behalf of the Lenoir City Council and all citizens, do hereby wish the very best for Ken in his retirement and commend him for the outstanding example he has set as a dedicated public servant. Be it further resolved that City Council and citizens of Lenoir extend our sincere appreciation and deep gratitude for his faithful and excellent service, which has contributed to the betterment of our city. Witness my hand and seal this the 6th day of March, 2018. Thank you, sir. Oh, there it is. And as to you too, I would like to present you with the key to your city, a city that you have protected, you've loved, you have honored, and just been, I'm going to get it out. Been grateful, and we're very proud. I'm proud to call you my friend, and I thank you for all that you've done. Presented to Kenneth M. Briscoe, Fire Chief, in recognition of his dedicated and outstanding service to the City of Lenoir and its citizens, June 2004 through March 2018, Lenoir City Council, Joseph L. Gibbons, Mayor. Thank you. And this is also yours. All right, I'm going to again recognize Mr. Clay McCrary, who has a presentation for Chief Briscoe.
Thank you, Mayor Gibbons.
Thank you.
And I would be remiss if I didn't start this off by saying that Chief Briscoe has been somebody that not only is an outstanding fire chief and a public servant that we've came to work very closely with, but I would also say that he has become a close friend of our office and a close friend of Congressman Meadows, and we really do appreciate you, sir. And in light of that, I'm here tonight to present this congressional record that was read on the House floor in honor of Chief Briscoe. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize Chief Kenneth Briscoe of Caldwell County, North Carolina. On behalf of the people of Lenoir, I congratulate Chief Briscoe on his retirement and thank him for 23 years of service to Caldwell County and 45 years of service to North Carolina. Chief Briscoe began his career in 1973 as a volunteer firefighter in Hudson, North Carolina. He joined the Lenoir Fire Department as a paid firefighter in 1975 and was promoted to captain in 1983. Chief Briscoe joined the North Carolina Department of Insurance in 1984 and was made the deputy director of the North Carolina Department of Insurance and the Fire and Rescue Commission. Chief Briscoe left the North Carolina Department of Insurance in 2004 to become the chief of the Lenoir Fire Department. During his career, Chief Briscoe has received many awards and honors for his exceptional service. In 2007, Chief Briscoe was selected Fireman of the Year by the North Carolina State Firemen's Association and was also recognized by the North Carolina State Senate for his outstanding service to North Carolina and the City of Lenoir. Chief Briscoe has been recognized by this Congress on numerous occasions for his service to the people of Lenoir and the state of North Carolina. In 2011, Chief Briscoe was awarded the National Chief Fire Officer designation and was made a member of the Institution of Fire Engineers. Furthermore, Chief Briscoe has attained many certifications through the International Fire Service Accreditation Congress. Chief Briscoe was the first member of the North Carolina Association of Fire Chiefs to serve as president and past president for 2 terms. As president of the North Carolina Association of Fire Chiefs, he represented over 1,500 fire chiefs and 45,000 firefighters. Chief Briscoe has also served as the vice chairman of the North Carolina Fire and Rescue Commission, and in 2014, Chief Briscoe was aptly named Western North Carolina Fire Officer of the Year. Western North Carolina is proud to have such an accomplished and caring public servant. Chief Briscoe's long list of awards and accomplishments does not paint the full picture of the meaningful impact he has made on Caldwell County and the state of North Carolina. For his service to Western North Carolina, I am honored to express the gratitude and best wishes of the people of North Carolina to Chief Briscoe on his retirement. Thank you. We ain't quite done yet. And I do have one last thing. We're also going to present Chief Briscoe a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol as well. And this is in honor of his 23 years of service to the City of Lenoir. Thank you for your service. I will certainly do it. Thank you. I know. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Clay. At this time, I will call on Chief Hare to come forward for a special presentation. One of his first gets to do official acts as the new fire chief of the City of Lenoir.
Sending the old one out.
Sending the old one out.
There's a good Jeff Cardwell, the 100%, the 50's glad you came, and the other 50's glad you left. Just so you did get 100% on February 28th. Jeff Cardwell, I owe that one too. I will remember that. It's my honor to present Chief Briscoe with his retirement watch from the fire department. We typically do a nice little collage of his citations and his badge and everything. And so I asked him, I said, I'm going to need to get your badge and stuff. So what for? So I was trying to tell him, so we can get your collage. He goes, oh, I don't want that. We was kind of proud of that, We took kind of pride in that. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But he did. I want my watch. Yes, sir, Chief. But I got to figure it out. The watch, and the reason it's important is so he doesn't miss the tide schedules when he's fishing. So it is my honor on behalf of the fire department to present Chief Briscoe with his retirement watch. It's got our Maltese cross in it and our logo and with the inscription on the back for the year's service. And just want to say thank you for everything.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, I wondered. I was looking forward to seeing all those badges and stuff, and we couldn't get him to do it. What he wants a watch for, he's going to go fishing. He just needs to know what time it is. I now would like to recognize Charles Morris, the supervisor for the State Bureau of Investigation and our Hickory office. Charles, and he has a presentation for Chief Briscoe. Welcome. Glad to have you with us this evening.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes,
I appreciate the introduction. It's certainly an honor to be here today in front of these two fine men that are retiring today. This is like a one for two here. So I really enjoyed your retirement and seeing your family, and especially these characters sitting over here on your side. On or around September 20th, 2008, I got the distinct honor, and also other SBI agents got the distinct honor in meeting Chief Briscoe. Caldwell County suffered one of the most traumatic events to their law enforcement community that anyone could ever suffer, and that's the death of a law enforcement officer. During that time, it was Adam Klutz, who was killed in the line of duty. During that time, Sheriff Jones asked us, the SBI, to come in and help with that investigation. Now, as a result of that investigation, over the next 5 days, there was approximately 250 tactical officers and probably another 60 or 70 officers that showed up to help in that 5-day period, and everyone showed up at the sheriff's office. So as we're starting this event, it's certainly overwhelming for us with the SBI. In our district, we have 20 personnel to 13 counties. So with those numbers, it just doesn't add up. So that's when I got the distinct privilege of meeting Chief Briscoe, and with his excellent attributes that he brought to the table. And I was thinking on the way over here, as we went through that incident, which lasted 5 days with all those personnel and the logistics that was involved with that, I thought of 3 qualities that I could talk about Chief Briscoe. Well, the first one was his calming and friendly demeanor that he brought to me and other agents. I would go to Chief Briscoe and say, "Chief, we got 75 officers coming from the eastern part of the state. What are we going to do with them?" And he would step back and go, "Charlie, I'll take care of it." And I just kind of sit there and looked at him in awe, going, "I'm all to pieces here. I'm very emotional myself as we're looking for the suspect." But that was the calming, friendly demeanor that met me and other agents with the SBI throughout that 5-day period. And it was just so welcoming to have that face. And the second one was his situational awareness of what was going on. We had, like I said, 250, 300 men and women that showed up at the sheriff's office to work this event. You had to park cars. You had to feed these people. There's a ton of logistics that goes on in an event like that that's behind the scenes. Well, Chief Briscoe, he certainly was behind the scenes, but I can tell you one thing, he was certainly pulling the strings. Because I can tell you this about law enforcement officers and you firemen there, and then we have a room full of firemen here. Let's say you take 10 police officers to go put out this house fire. Well, we'll start arguing before we start doing anything. We'll argue about who's going to drive the fire truck, who's going to drag the hose, who's going to spray the water. Now, a fireman, on the other hand, 10 firemen will show up. They'll get out. They're doing their duties. They're working together. I said that all to say this. He brought us together, and he really helped that event. And if it hadn't been for Ken, I don't know what we would have done. And I guess the last thing that I want to say about him is his organizational skills. His organizational skills during a mass event like that was just outstanding and extraordinary. And it was just a quality that was brought to the table that I'm not sure if anyone present there could have replaced that, or if we could have got anybody at that specific time to fill that specific role. And I just want you to know, Chief, that it meant something to me, it meant something to us, and I know it meant something to the community, and you were in the right place at the right time. And not only with that, we've worked together with numerous other cases. This is not that case. It's other cases that Chief Briscoe has helped the SBI with, and he's truly been a partner and a friend of the SBI, and it's very well appreciated. So on behalf of the SBI, I would like to offer Chief a plaque here if he'd come up. Now, Chief, I know you're taller than me, so just take it easy on me, brother. All right. Presented to Kenneth M. Briscoe. I reserved male. So Kenneth M. Briscoe, in recognition of your 43 years of service to the citizens of North Carolina, along with the professional relationship you maintained with the State Bureau of Investigation, best wishes on your retirement, sir.
Thank you so much.
Well, you're certainly welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Charles, for being with us. We appreciate your service to us and the state, and we hope we don't have to use you a whole lot up this way, but we're glad to know you're there if we do. So thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you. And now I'm going to introduce City Manager Scott Hildebrand, who has some presentation and a few fun things to say, I think.
I wrote this down because I would forget, but this is to honor both Charles and Ken. Winston Churchill stated, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." A true servant's greatest strength is a humble spirit. Today, it's a gift when you find someone who genuinely is interested in helping others without asking for something in return. This afternoon, we're here to recognize the leadership of two men of character that demonstrate a servant's heart. I've never had to ask either one of these guys, why are you leading? Is it to serve or to be served? Both these gentlemen have embodied the city's customer service motto, service beyond measure. Each one has been helpful to a person, no matter their circumstance or situation, or have shown great compassion in helping others. They've been great department heads, but they're even better servants. I sincerely thank both of you for all your years of service. Now the fun part. I want to offer a toast. The first to Chief Briscoe. Everybody's heard of Murphy's Law, I'm sure. Well, there's Murphy's Budget Law. I learned this 30 years ago, my first budget meeting with the fire chief. It goes kind of like this. The fire will go out and the bleeding will stop eventually, even if you don't respond. And regardless if you get that new red truck. Chief, here's hoping you only hear the sirens and see the red trucks on a visit to the firehouse and not a visit to your house. And remember, when you visit Oak Island, here's fire terminology, turn so you don't burn. Mr. Beck, here's hoping your garbage and leaves are always picked up. The road you travel is always smooth and has no potholes. And when your time comes, you get placed in the correct spot at the cemetery. And I've heard these guys say this the last couple of weeks. Now goodbye attention, hello pension. With that, we want to go back and honor both of you folks with these beautiful paintings by Charlie Fry that Kaylin Horton had commissioned. Your co-workers paid for those, and they're yours, and I hope you have some nice comments on there, but you guys can take these home and put them on your wall, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you didn't get a chance to sign one of the portraits done by our local artist, Charlie Fry, the Fry Art Studio here in Lenoir, great renditions of those guys, I tell you, with some things projects that they were involved in, and their tools of their trade already are built into those pictures. So if you want to sign it and you hadn't had a chance, please sign. You can sign the back of it, or if you don't, there are some papers. If it's full, you might have to sign the papers out front, and they're going to be placed in an envelope, and they'll be placed on the back of the pictures to go with it. So please sign those if you haven't had a chance to do so. As we get ready to close, we have one more presentation to make. I was notified by the governor of the state of North Carolina to make a presentation in his honor, and I will ask Chief Briscoe if you will come forward. Chief, it is my great honor, on behalf of Roy Cooper, I'll get it out, the governor of the state of North Carolina, to present you with the Order of the Longleaf Pine. I am very honored to be able to do this for him, and as it states, reposing special confidence in the integrity, the learning, and the zeal of Kenneth Mel Briscoe, I do hereby, with these presents, confer the Order of the Longleaf Pine with the rank of Ambassador Extraordinary, privileged to enjoy fully all rights granted to its members of this exalted order, and among which it's a special privilege to propose the following North Carolina toast in select company anywhere in the free world. And I will do that. Here's to the land of the longleaf pine, the summer land where the sun does shine, where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. Here's to down home, the old North State. Congratulations. I got one more thing to give you. And I also would like to present Chief Briscoe with his official Order of the Longleaf Pine Society lapel pin. Wear it in pride across this state. Here, I'll put it on you.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Yep.
I knew it.
Mir-
I fumbled it.
Can't see.
There it is. Come on, hey, public works to the rescue.
Yeah, as usual.
Hit the hole. I got it right there. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Congratulations. Charles, Chief, we need some comments from you real quick, if you will.
Quickly, because city council starts at 6 o'clock.
Starts at 6?
The department heads have already said,
Yep.
if you won't talk long, it's going to be a short
this
meeting,
is you
so
for your pen.
I'm just. Good gracious, where to begin? City of Lenoir, state of North Carolina. My wife Paula, my son, my daughter-in-law Kate, and my granddaughter. It's just been a wonderful ride. Each and every one of the firefighters sitting out here, they've done a great job. My mother is back there, my sister Carla. It's just been wonderful. You know, when you say you've run a good race and you fought a good fight, this is one of the times you feel like that, and it's good that we do know that we're leaving things in a whole lot better hands than when we come in, Charles. They're going to do a great job. Ken Hare's a great man, and he's going to do a great job, and I'm so proud of him. I really am. City Council, my goodness, I told you I wasn't going to be able to say a whole lot. So again, I'll just say thank you for allowing me to be your fire chief. Thank you for allowing me to serve the citizens of Lenoir. Mr. Price was here earlier. I think he's left, but thank Mr. Price for taking a chance on me, letting me be the fire chief. That was something else. Mr. Hildebrand, thank you. You've been a great leader, a great mentor, and I certainly appreciate it. Mayor, Lord have mercy. You and I met on a football field back in when, 69, and you were playing and I was running around. I was just a mere child, but Chief was... Mayor was playing football. Did we win that night, or did you?
No, sir, we did not.
I thought we won that night. Well, folks, it's been a great ride. This is a great city. It's a great state, and it's a great country. And these folks are in great shape. I'm leaving you in some of the best hands in the world. The police department, the fire department, public works, public utilities. We can't say enough about this team. Planning, Jenny's back there. Administration, it's just great. And I certainly appreciate it. I will miss you, but not as much as I'll enjoy taking care of that grandbaby and fishing and taking care of that wife. Thank you again for everything. Thank the congressman, the senators. But most of all, again, just the folks of Lenoir. Y'all have been good to me, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Mayor.
Chief, wait a minute. Got one more thing. I meant to give you this earlier. This appeared in the paper sometime back, and when his retirement. Nope, not going to a fire, going to retire. There you are. I meant to give you earlier. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank all of you for being with us tonight. We're going to have a council meeting in about 15 minutes. I would like a picture, Charles and Chief, with the council. If we could come up and we'll shoot a picture with you guys, and we'll do all that. And quickly, is there anyone else that has anything that they would like to say about either one of these great guys? Now's your chance. Well, again, we're proud to have worked with you, been a part of that. Always, we will miss you being with us, but for what you have left us, we can move forward with the best of ease. I guess that's the best way to put it. Thank you for the legacy that you have become with the City of Lenoir, North Carolina. Your departments are great. The fire department is going to be honored at the Main Street Conference for our Main Street champion this year. And 2 years ago, the Public Works Department was honored with our Main Street champion. So both of the departments have been great leaders in our city, and we were glad that we could be a part of that and be honored at those venues across the state of North Carolina. We let the state know what we're so proud of, and we thank you for that. Thank you for being with us. We're going to shoot a picture, stay around, enjoy any food that's left.